This is unfair. I was coerced. I won't say another word until I speak with my lawyer. Ellipses, ellipses, ellipses. Once school was over, I decided to take my chances with a little bit of intel I'd managed to obtain from my classmates. If memory served me right, Aria-senpai would be practicing at the dojo today. Of course, I knew her. She was a judo student just like myself, but for whatever reason, she had always been refusing to compete in any tournament for a while now. Aria-senpai, are you around? I shouted her name as I parked my bike, looking around for any sign of the girl. Huh? Yeah! Yeah! Follow the shouts and you will find her. Hua ya ya. Follow the shouts and you will find her. Wait. Okay, I don't know how I got those lines to repeat, but I grinned briefly as I saw Aria seemingly in the middle of practicing a series of motions, almost as if she was fighting an imaginary opponent. Perhaps now was the perfect opportunity to surprise her a little bit. I snuck close, making sure to make as little noise as possible before I reached a hand towards her shoulder. Aria, feeling a little hand on her shoulder, Aria reacted. She grabbed a hold of my hand and with a loud grunt shifted her weight, curled, and tipped me over her shoulder. I didn't have time to brace myself for the impact before I hit the ground like a sack of potatoes. Boom! Yeah! No one sneaks up on the great kid. I sound like that anonymous student from earlier. Whatever, I'm not good at making girl voices. No one sneaks up on the great Kunoichi Aria. Kunoichi Aria. Oh, Takaboy, I didn't realize it was you. I'm sorry, are you okay? Kunoichi sounds more like Tasmanian devil. That doesn't make a shred of sense to me. That throw didn't have a shred of mercy in it. There's no mercy in the ring, Takaboy. Better that you learn that now than in 2 weeks' time. Let me guess. You want to do some sparring, don't you? I actually came to ask you something, but I guess a little sparring wouldn't hurt. Crack my knuckles here. Oh? What do you want to ask? We've all got afternoon. We've got... Oh. Sorry, I'm a little dyslexic sometimes. We've got all afternoon, and I could do with a little bit of a break anyway. This water tastes like shit. Where to start? You used to take part in big and important matches in the past, right? Didn't you ever get nervous before going into the ring? Oh yeah, this one time I got so nervous, I hid in the kitchen cupboards until my dad found me and dragged me out into the car. Of course, that was when I was like 8. Yeah, when I was like 8 and I was gonna get my shots, I used to hide out in the shed out back when I used to have a backyard. Those were good times. Of course, I was always found. Well, obviously I can't go and hide for my match, but one of my friends made the stupid suggestion that I go and pray for or something. Honestly, at this point, I'll do anything to calm my nerves a little. Takaboy, are you sure about this? You mean the match? Of course I am. I've been practicing judo ever since I was old enough to walk. This is my chance to finally represent the country and the sport I love. Aria seemed to think for quite a while, all the time tapping her jaw with a finger. Eventually, she snapped her fingers and grabbed a tight hold of me. Ugh! Alright, I'll show you the way to the shrine I know, but it's going to require more than a simple clap of your hands and a bob of your head. You need to give something to the shrine, something of value. And, by the way, I do know what that means. That's how you pray at the shrine in Japan. Sorry, it's from all the anime and the, I guess, cultural videos I watch. I guess I'll have to think of something before we get there. Thanks, Senpai. I appreciate the help. We? Oh, no, Takaboy. I'm not going with you. I got training to do. Besides, you gotta take this step yourself. I can draw you a map and show you an easy way to get back here, but you'll be on your own. Does no one have like a GPS or something in this world? You're not tagging along? Not even for a little while? I'm afraid so, Takaboy. Let me just grab some paper. I'll draw that map for you. After Aria's return, quick preparations were made. Passive voice, and I followed the directions noted down on the map. Surprisingly, it wasn't all that far. However, the hint on how to find my way back in case I got lost was a bit sketchy. Just look down and you'll be able to see the roof of the dojo from anywhere on the hill. forest near the dojo was my first challenge to overcome. A narrow path coiled along the trees, and nearby was the river Ichikawa's sister had mentioned. I followed Arya's scribbles with a bit of skepticism, but after an hour or so, I finally arrived at the supposedly legendary shrine. Ooh. It's a torii, I think that's what they're called. The shrine itself seemed surprisingly well maintained despite being in the middle of nowhere. It made me wonder if someone could be secretly living there. Perhaps some secret martial arts master? The thought of a hermit living in hiding within the shrine in order to prepare himself for an upcoming battle between good and evil started to dwell in my nerd-ass mind. I guess it's too good to be true. I sighed in annoyance at the fact that aside from the shrine itself, the ground surrounding it seemed completely abandoned. There was no way anyone could be living there. For the time being, I decided to focus on the reason behind my visit. It only took a few moments before I gathered the courage to approach the building. Once inside, I found a rather fancy-looking altar of sorts at the back of the room. I guess this is the first thing everyone's talking about. Silently, I folded up the map I'd been given, putting it inside my bag, and approached the altar. I was kind of skeptical about the whole religious aspect, so I wasn't too sure if this was actually going to work. If you're a skeptic, then the answer is no, it's not going to fucking work. I don't even think luck will do me any much good in a match like this. I mean, it's a match of wits, it's a match of the skills. In my opinion, there wasn't any room for things like luck in martial arts. Well, maybe a little bit. Maybe like an opening. You know, you see that opening? Maybe you could bust a move. Judo is all about using the knowledge you have gained through training. Of course, a good amount of talent also helps. There was simply no room for something as superstitious as luck. Clearly, this is going to be a match where my experience and talent will be pushed to their limits. Nothing more and nothing less. How curious. The boy doesn't believe in superstition, and yet he stands there, surrounded by the very thing he denounces. Upon hearing the voice, I turned around, trying to find the source, but there was no one to be seen. Ghost! Who's there? Oops. What did I just do? Oops. Who's there? I like how I can just change the music by scrolling up and down. Who's there? Quite the cliched question, but the right thing to ask is, where am I? What are you talking about? Show yourself! Not yet. Entertain me for a while longer, would you? This is a place like no other. Why did you come here if you do not believe in things such as luck? I came here to prepare myself. Oh, do enlighten me about what this something might be that you are preparing yourself for. I felt a little annoyed as the question continued, but maybe if I kept talking to her, I would be able to find out where Xiao was hiding. That's awesome. Also, if this was me in this situation, I'd probably shit my pants and just run the fuck hightail it out of this motherfucking shrine. I'm preparing for a tournament, a judo match. Judo? What might that be? Seriously, you don't know what judo is? It's a highly skilled combat art. Aha, so you're a warrior, hesitant to go into battle and came here in hopes of finding the resolve to fight. Not sure about the warrior part. How fortunate. It just happens that there is a need for one of your kind. My kind? A hero. This shrine brings fortune to heroes such as yourself. However, every great hero must sacrifice something in return. Sounds like what the others mentioned. Your version sounds much better, though. Laughing briefly at the story, I decided to play along, clap my hands together in prayer. So what's next? Do I offer my allowance or something? Don't be silly. Money is of little importance to a hero. For you, the sacrifice will be something of much greater value. I will be looking forward to seeing what destiny has in store for you. As if on cue, I began to feel nauseated the moment the girl's voice reached my ears. My head spinning wildly. It's just a really badly structured sentence. Threw me off. Slowly, I staggered backwards, collapsing into my back. As my vision grew blurry, the sound of approaching footsteps could be heard. Oh, it's a demon girl. Good luck, hero. You're going to need it. Despite my attempts to get back up, all I managed was a brief look at the girl. The sight of horns and tails left many questions. But before I had a chance to utter even a single word, my consciousness succumbed to the darkness. Hey girl, Anime Expo wants you back. Oh man, these voices are doing a number on my throat. Rays of sunlight stirred me back to life, a groan of annoyance leaving my mouth while I tried to get back onto my feet. I felt a bit dizzy, but the first thing I noticed was that I was no longer at the shrine. Instead, it looked like the forest near the dojo. Of course, my first thought was to look around to see if I could find the girl from before, but not a trace of her presence remained. And maybe examine myself to see if any of my organs are missing. That might be in order.